Buckle up, investors. There's a seismic shift happening in the tech world that has everyone talking. The star of the show? None other than Nvidia, which has been shattering records and expectations lately, but is now on the precipice of something insanely huge coming its stock's way. You might think you've already heard it all, but hold your breath for this one. With its stock rising an eye-watering 240% in 2023 and showing no signs of slowing down in 2024 with another 108% climb, Nvidia is making waves bigger than the tsunami. The powerhouse behind this sky-high leap is artificial intelligence, and Nvidia's GPUs are the gold standard fueling this revolution. Luminaries in the tech industry are all eyes and ears, but is there still room for this stock to skyrocket? Could Nvidia go even higher next year and prove all the doubters and naysayers wrong once again? Stay tuned as we dive deeper into what makes Nvidia untouchable for the foreseeable future, and whether it can sustain its meteoric rise. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Investocracy.
A lot of this, by the way, was Michael Semblis being misinterpreted, even by me, about selling Nvidia on this. It's really the hyperscalers that may be too aggressive. That's maybe these companies, except for Apple, are spending too much.
You're referring to the strategist at J.P. Morgan. I know he wrote a piece that was last week.
It was devastating in some ways because it questioned. And it said the emperor had few clothes.
It was questioning this thesis that I brought up at the very top of the show. Again,
yes.
I
want to circle back.
Will we get a? Well, listen. As our viewers know, we come back to the same themes time and again, as we need to.
Well, because
these are the important themes in the marketplace.
Yes.
Generative AI, obviously, and what the applications will be, but this idea that has been around now for some time, since that guy from Sequoia really wrote that notes. Quite a while ago.
Great note.
Just saying this is the number that I'm coming up with, and this is what you would need to see in terms of actually having a return that made sense for this number.
But, look, this morning I meet with Jeff Martha. He's the great CEO. I say that because it's their 75th birthday. Medtronic, they're ringing the opening bell. And one of the things that Jeff said that I think is really significant, he talked about colonoscopies.
Right.
And he said that they have an AI version and they have a regular version. And the regular version is missing 50%, 50, of the cancerous polyps that are discovered by their AI version in Medtronic. We keep getting these somewhat one-off examples. The other week we saw a science study, Nature, a science study talking about, wait a second, maybe we're mapping out all the ways that cancer could be caused. So, David, maybe we just don't have enough use. Look, I think Jensen Wong, if you were here, would say, guys, we've had this, since Sequoia did that note?
The legend of Nvidia's recent performance can be traced back to the surge in demand for AI computing. As the premier choice for companies constructing their AI frameworks, Nvidia's GPUs have become indispensable. This isn't about buying a couple of nifty gadgets. We're talking about corporations connecting thousands of these high-performance machines to tackle mammoth-sized data. The result? Nvidia's revenue has hit unprecedented levels. For instance, in the second quarter of fiscal year 2025, Nvidia reported a jaw-dropping 122% year-over-year increase, raking in $30 billion. The data center segment was the star, growing by 154% to $26.3 billion. Not only did it shine year-over-year, but it also showed a 16% increase from the previous quarter. That's a relentless pace of growth if there ever was one. So when all is said and done, analysts predict a much bigger and monumental year for Nvidia come 2025. The company is looking to break all records set in the past and move forward towards a new age of success and glory. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with Nvidia's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates.
No, but
he wouldn't say that.
I mean, there's no one we talk to, and obviously I know, we both talk to each other occasionally off this set.
Yes, we do.
Who doesn't say this is going to change the world? They all say the same thing.
Right. I do think that
all the CEOs, I mean, I haven't yet met one. However, how long it takes and what form and who the beneficiaries ultimately are. I mean, again, so many do come back to things like not just what you discussed with colonoscopies and Medtronic, but drug discovery and how you'll be able to shrink the time for a new drug substantially and what that will mean. At the same time, though, Jim, until we start to see these consumer applications, are investors sort of going to be in a wait-and-see mode now?
Worse. No one seems to believe in the consumer AI PC as much as we thought, and the consumer doesn't seem to get the value proposition of AI. Now, to some degree, why not? I mean, I can put in ChatGPT. I don't really need
right. You don't need the
AI.
PC to do it yourself.
No, I've got AI.
Let's sprinkle in a bit of humor here. Navigating the stock market is a bit like trying to explain AI to your grandparents. It sounds complicated, but it all boils down to smart choices and timing. Speaking of smart choices, Nvidia's consistent high demand suggests it stays at the top of the league. Indeed, Q3 forecasts from Nvidia's management predict revenues climbing to $32.5 billion. All this signals that the market isn't tired of what Nvidia has to offer. But before everyone sets off an eruption of investor enthusiasm, it's crucial to deliberate whether the stock could indeed double. For Nvidia to double, it would have to hit a valuation of $5.2 trillion, surpassing even the behemoth Apple, currently valued under $3.4 trillion. It's a great aspiration, but in a single year, maybe not so feasible. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Do you want to go back to the idea that we have to worry about AI since everybody else is? And the reason I say it, David, is because is there a level where people feel confident in not selling Nvidia? Did we reach it today? Nvidia was down big last week. People are saying the chart is okay, but David, Nvidia is still the Verdun, the Somme. It's the Somme. That's S-O-M-M-E.
That's World War I, right? You're talking?
Yeah, I switch wars all the time, David.
I know you do.
It's the case on.
You go back
really
and
want to
forth
get more
between
pertinent.
your wars. Nvidia is up 3.5%.
Well, I'm saying, but this is, can it hold it?
6%, of course. That is the question.
Now, David, if you watch the volume, it trades like GameStop did. It's got a lot of 0-day, 0-30 options.
Yeah, I know. The kids love playing 0-day options on Nvidia.
They're going to say, oh, Grandpa just said, and all I can say is, I wish I were Grandpa.
Yeah, they go between FanDuel and making their bets on the game tonight.
Well, why not? I mean, they have the over on
Nvidia. There's 0-day options on Nvidia. So that makes you a complete anachronism.
Well,
you make no difference to anybody in any way.
It's a knockout pool.
And I don't know what it says for me because I just sit next to you.
David, I play daily fantasy every day here.
Oh, that's good.
And right now, I did not start Nvidia. I started Richardson, Saquon Barkley, and Cooper Kupp. Can you believe how great I am? No, I didn't really do that. But, David, this is the reality, is that Nvidia cannot finish up.
Here's why the aspirations for Nvidia to surpass itself next year may be a tad far-fetched for all you bulls out there, though. Nvidia's exceptional performance has already been factored into its stock price. Metrics suggest Wall Street's expectations incorporate a 33% growth in earnings towards the end of the fiscal year. Soaring earnings per share of 168% in Q2 may face stiffer comparisons as the fiscal year rolls on. Even though Nvidia's stock trades at a premium, 50 times trailing and 37 times forward earnings, its reputation justifies a more modest valuation of around 30 times forward earnings. Therefore, Nvidia needs to double its earnings to realistically double its stock price. According to one brave Wall Street analyst, Nvidia could hit an EPS of $5.45 by fiscal 2028, a stride closer to the magical $7.08 mark needed for the stock to double under current valuation methods. So, while an annual doubling of stock is a lofty target, Nvidia might well achieve this by fiscal 2029, a mere 4.5 years away. That performance still places it ahead of the broader market, which typically takes about 7 years to double. That said, back to the video.
And, oh, by the way, also, there's a sense that it doesn't matter whether you buy anything.
One day,
Amazon.
The demand will
well, it should be now.
Will diminish for their chips.
Now, but the spokespeople.
At some point, the spending will slow. Right?
Well, we had a great number from Broadcom and Hawk 10. People hated it. David was hated. And Hawk watches the show. Hawk, how you doing? He's an Eagle fan.
Yes.
Watches the show, and all I can say is, holy cow, where did people want to sell that? That was a super micro-like decline.
Okay.
Oh, never mind, nothing's like that.
Again, we need to point out the fact that the stock of Broadcom is still up 60% over the last 12 months.
Yeah, my charitable trust owns
Granted, it was in the $800 billion, almost $800 billion market cap club for a while.
It wasn't, it was like Berkshire. They don't count the 800 and 900. They're like, no, they need. You know why? Because they haven't. When you go to DraftKings, they actually give you $200 billion. You can get it's called you get points.
Right.
You watch DraftKings for where stocks are going. Killer.
So, does this mean you should put your money on Nvidia? Absolutely. Despite not being on course to double in the imminent future, Nvidia presents a robust investment. Its cutting-edge AI technology has not only generated enormous revenue, but has also solidified its standing in the tech ecosystem. Current stock assessments project continuous growth, undoubtedly positioning Nvidia as a formidable player that consistently outperforms market standards. With each passing quarter reflecting strong demand, Nvidia isn't just surviving, it's dictating the tempo for future tech advancements. Given its present standing, the prospect of Nvidia reaching the projected $7.08 EPS mark by fiscal 2029 remains promising. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a beginner stepping into the world of stocks, Nvidia's resilience and potential make it a compelling option. What do you think about Nvidia's potential to keep climbing the charts? Share your thoughts and join the conversation. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.